What's going on, folks? This is Mr. Apathy, Devlin James, coming to you with another video. And this is going to be another video directed towards the men. Another video for men. Especially men who are going their own way, and men who are thinking of going their own way because of the fucked up behavior of many of today's women and just the system we live in, which is very anti-man. One of the things I've done over the years, I've kept in contact with a lot of people in my past. Now, these are people I've worked with. These are people who, I've developed a friendship with. These are women that I've dated in the past. And I've kept in contact with these people. Now, I don't talk to them on the phone like every day, once in a while maybe. And the women that I've dated, more or less, I guess a Facebook message here or there. And that's the good thing. That's the one thing I like about Facebook. It allows you to keep in contact with people, but from a distance. You can see what's going on in their lives without actually speaking to them. You can just look at their posts, look at their pictures, look at their status updates. Now, I dated this girl very briefly when I was in my mid-20s, I believe. So this is years ago. My God, this is more than 10 years ago. And this chick was a party girl. She was all over the place. I've never met a person who, as soon as they had a thought, they do it. They wouldn't analyze the thought, analyze the practicality or anything. They would just go forth and do it. And I remember this chick, she really had no real ambition. She was just going where the waves took her. Couldn't wait for the weekend to go to the club and yada yada yada. Some of you guys are probably asking, well, why would you even date a woman like that? Well, at that time I didn't know any better. Remember, came from a single parent home. Your mothers really don't prepare you to teach, to deal with the world. And they don't teach you shit about women. They don't teach you shit about anything, or at least in my case anyway. So everything is trial and error. Everything you learn on your own. And that was a lesson I had to learn. Thankfully, it only took me 3 months, and I didn't get in deep with this woman. One thing I remember about her, she always wanted to get married. Always wanted to have children. Now I'm looking at this chick. I'm like, you're just not marriage material. You're not, I can't imagine, God help the guy that you have children with, because I can't imagine you being a mother. I don't know if there's anything maternal in you. Well, flash forward, I don't know, 15 years. We linked up on Facebook some time ago. And I noticed that her status on Facebook was married. And she had a daughter. And I looked at the pictures of the husband, and he seemed like he was a decent guy. Turns out that he was actually older than her. He was like in his 50s, but he was in good shape for his age. Now, I'm West Indian. She's also West Indian. And the husband is old school West Indian. And I was surprised because I always imagined her hooking up with some kind of like ex-drug dealer, ex-thug. Because those were the guys that she had dated before me. And after me, those are the guys that she went back to. So I thought that naturally this would be the type of guy that would knock her up, and then she'd be looking for the nice guy. As it goes with most women. They get impregnated by the quote-unquote alpha male, or what they think the alpha male is. These over macho drug dealer types that they think are the man's man, the thug, the drug dealer, womanizer, you name it. They get knocked up by these guys who typically don't stick around. And then the beta males are the ones that are usually left to clean up the mess. Those are the ones they want to marry to support a lifestyle, to keep a roof over their head, to take care of the children that aren't theirs. That's typically how it works out in most cases. Not in all cases, but in most cases, if you're observant, you'll see that trend. Anyway, she got married, older gentleman, didn't have any kids, so, it was him, her. They had one child, and then they had another child. They have a son, so they have a daughter. Daughter may be, I don't know, 6 or 7. The son, I think, is 4 years old. And I'm blown away. I'm like, wow, this girl actually did it. And in the black community, too, she didn't end up being a single mother. I'm like, wow, she actually did it. I was like, wow, blown away. She got it right. She got it right. She managed to get a man, who's decent, got a good head on his shoulder, and she's building a life with that man, with kids, family, and whatnot. I was blown away. Well, that didn't last long. Well, I think it lasted a couple years. But these women are just amazing. They're just really in love with the idea of marriage and being in love. They really don't really understand the sacrifice, the work, the everything involved in being married, having a family, and raising children. There's a lot that goes into it. A lot of these women today are just in love with the idea, like in love with the painting. But they don't want to sit there and, put work into the canvas to create that picture, to create the painting. Yeah, for a while there, I thought that this girl may actually be one of the very few exceptions to the rule. And it was ironic that it was this girl, considering her past. But the beauty of Facebook, you really get to see, in my opinion, the progression of people. That's what it is. People who you've known from high school, even before, you compare, what you knew of them back in the day, whether it be high school, whatever, or 10 years or 15 or 20 years ago, to where they are today. And it's all because of their choices that got them to this point. Well, I thought this girl may have been one of the very few exceptions to the rule who actually went out there and found a good man, didn't have any kids from a past relationship to bring into this thing. It's just her and this man come together and build their own family, which is very rare, especially. It's very rare in this day and age. It's very rare in the black community, to be honest. People get married, of course, but you see more and more single mothers than anything. This is what I thought initially. Then I saw her status change from married to separated. I'm like, uh-oh. So I contacted her. I'm like, what's going on, man? Is everything all right? What's, you're separated now? She's like, yeah. I'm like, what's wrong? What's the problem? And this is where I really found out about, the husband and whatnot. Oh, did something happen with him? Did he, like from the pictures, he seems like he's a good guy, and that's where she told me about him, Um, he's like in his 50s, older man. They got married and such, had kids. He's a good man, good father and whatnot, but eh, basically he's not exciting to her. I'm like, what? Yeah, I'm still young. I still want to do certain things, and he's more settled. I'm like, okay. Plus, honestly, and I can tell you this because I've known you, he won't go down on me. I'm like, what? Yeah, I'm serious. He won't go down on me. You know, he's old school West Indian. He doesn't believe in doing that. I'm like, wow, that's deep. That's true. Old school West Indian guys, they're not into that eating the pussy bullshit. You know, they're not. They won't do that for most of them. Won't do that for anything. You know. But my thing is, look, woman, you got a decent man. He's taking care because she didn't refute the point that yeah, he's a decent guy. He loves his children. He takes care of the family. He provides and this and that. She didn't refute any of that. But I'm like, you know, because she wanted to divorce the man. I'm like, and you want to divorce him? Basically, you're going to divorce him. You're going to break this family apart. You know, you're going to pull this daughter away from the father. And looking at you know, you can see there's love there in the pictures. You're going to pull this man away from his kids, pull his kids away from their father. So you're going to go from being a married woman who have kids, who's doing it right, who basically raising a family that may have a chance in this world, to being a not a single parent. You're going to do that because this man won't go down on you. And I'm like, you know what? What can I say? It's your life. Do what you want with it. But just to show you the absurdity, really, do you understand the magnitude of what the fuck you're doing? Do you understand that once you get married and you have children, that it's not about you anymore? You know, it's about that family. It's about those kids. You know, it's about that structure. It's about that foundation that you're building for the future of your children. Do you understand that? No. There's the narcissism. There's the selfishness that's in so many of today's women. So now this guy, they're divorced now. He's not living with them now. So knowing her past and whatnot, I know the money that came for that house, I'm sure came from this man. So now he's living somewhere off, somewhere by himself, probably living in poverty, as he's paying for this condo or townhouse or whatever the hell they have or had together. He's paying for that. He's paying child support. And I could tell you that other men, she's cohabitating with other men because, of course, now she wants to find a guy that's going to do all those things to her. And now she's having all these guys, you know, different suitors running through her. So her daughter and her son are seeing all these different men running into this house that was once, you know, their place of dwelling for both the father and the mother. Now the father's out the picture and you have all these random dudes. And now she's going back to the alpha, bad boy, drug dealer types. This is what she's surrounding her children with. So now she's causing destruction in her own family structure that she's created. She's taking the husband out of the home. The son is going to see all these different men running through you know, his mother. The son's going to see all these different men coming, and you know, children are not dumb. All these different men running behind his mother. I keep saying her mother. Run behind his mother, running through his mother, and the daughter's going to see the same thing. All these different men. You know, it just does not pay to get involved with these women out here, man. I'm telling you. It does not pay. They're like living a delusion. Oh, I want to get married. I want to fall in love. I want to this and that. And then you invest in them and you get fucked over. And you pay for shit. You know, you pay for shit through alimony. You pay for shit through child support. You pay for a house that you can't even live in, but this woman can bring any fucking Tom, Dick, and Harry into and have them around your children. I can't imagine the pain that this man is going through. It's just, it's sickening, man. I don't know. I just wanted to make that video to put that out there to show you another example of why it really does not pay to get involved with these women. It does not pay. It does not pay. Anyway, I don't know. I'm just sharing my thoughts. This is another unscripted video. If you guys have noticed anything or know people like this or have seen this in your own life, or maybe women you've dated in the past, or just women that you know that you're friends with, and you see them do the same shit to guys who were unfortunate enough to marry them, to take that plunge with them, and are now fucked over, please leave a comment or create a response video. Anyway, more and more men need to be awakened to the bullshit that these women are putting out there, and they need to be awakened so they don't get caught up in it and end up being fucked over financially, and end up being torn away from their children, and end up being torn away from the very home that they bust their ass to provide, to maintain. It's really fucked up for men, and it's fucked up that the woman wouldn't even think that, what I'm doing is selfish and fucked up and it's gonna hurt this man. Not even a thought is given to that shit. Just what I want. That's it. What I want. Guys, it pays to leave most of these women alone and just live your own life. Anyway, that's all I have to say. That's all I have. Feel free to comment. If you haven't done so already, please subscribe. More videos to come.